Look, I'm not really a contrarian. It's just that Lucifer controls almost everyone's mind and they're all upside down. It's topsy-turvy world here, folks. Which is exactly why the witch's mind control made me feel the impulse to create this video called Fake Identities Are Straight or Queer Jackets for the Mind. Free yourselves! Because there are no lies in the future that get to rule over us all. No blue signs under the videos telling the truth. 'Cause the fallen can't just control it all. Facts are lazy and facts are strength. Facts don't know just what to do. Facts might fill you with hate, but not me, just only you. 'Cause there are no lies in the future ruling over us all. Sharp as a knife, the true facts cut a hole in the fall. There are no lies in the future that get to steal it all. Fake identities are straight or queer jackets for the mind. Free yourself. What do I mean? Well, I'm not just making reference to all the mind control identity scams, but really any identity you might consider yourself to be can be a form of mental cage, and I've suffered that as much as anyone, thinking I had the Illuminati mind control scheme, that I had to single-handedly, like Jimi Hendrix, save the world with my music and then kill myself with drugs by age 27. But fortunately I got out of that idea. But when I was much earlier, in the early 20s, after bouncing 4 checks, I ended up talking to the visiting head psychiatrist of the Anderson Public Department of Mental Health in South Carolina. And after telling him I believe in astrology and that the body can heal itself, he says, and other things, he says, well, let me give you 2 choices here. You can take a little bit of antipsychotics and spend the night in a straitjacket, or take a lot of antipsychotics and spend the night in the country club prison. I said, well, I'm nonviolent. I know you don't have the right to do that. It took me about 2 hours more to convince him to let me go home and see the visit and the main head psychiatrist the next day. Of course, that's when I hitchhiked out west for the, second time probably. Nowadays, we see the massive proliferation of identity politics, or what I call fake IDs, i.e., you can identify as anything you want, make up your own gender, as long as you don't reproduce. Okay, that's the key. You can be queer, or you're in the wrong body, and you need voluntary surgical castration, or this is obviously the SDC, the Saturn Death Cult, the Saturn Death Moon Matrix favorite, for obvious reasons. All of these are often geared towards brainwashing and manipulation, and to distract you from your real identity. And Blueprint is a representative of the real, original, divine human family and its mission to create and guard its beautiful, expansive living library. Okay? Look, I was given a powerful fake ID, just like a sexy-looking 18-year-old UCSC student is they attempt to give them a fake, something to block their awareness as a fertile being that would, to prevent you from engaging in sacred hierogamy, a very analogous fake ID in the opposite extreme, right? Okay, so I can relate to this, unfortunately. One example for this might be that I have to stay in this camp, or I can't leave 150 miles of radius of this region. That's what the average human will. Unfortunately, the average human will never move more than 150 miles from where they were born. You have to move your mind's arms. You know what I mean? To get out of that straitjacket, basically. This was, of course, the plan for this planet to be a divine living library before the regressive invader ETs came, and such as the Anunnaki, and then later the Dracos and others began infiltrating our institutions while killing the bloodlines that contain the Christ, the sacred Christos bloodlines, when they could, as much as possible, and then impersonating them with their reptilian bloodlines. This is, of course, led to dragging in the moon to be the master controller and the remote control us and wipe our memories between lives. This gave most of us massive amnesia, if not 100%, and like with me, like 96% amnesia as an entire species. This was one of the most greatest travesties ever done to souls anywhere in the multiverse. And in another 1,000 or 2,000 years, we'd have 1 to 2,000 years, we'd have almost no clue who we are. The human race, let me say it again, the human race is a species with amnesia, and this was intentional, especially after the Nephilim hybridization, and they put the moon and the Nibiru heterostatic reversal grid, Thus, by AD 1974, women with high IQs would be sent at age 18 to colleges to learn amongst ways to be a good wage earner, how and why to hate men, white people, and of course, for sure, like somebody like this dude talking, heterosexual, straight and poor at the moment. Because in California, most people are impoverished. In other words, to hate fools similar to me. When you see fake IDs are a queer straitjacket most of the time, unless they're not, you can see why and how most humans are stuck in mental chains. Okay, the fake ID is your mental chain. Okay, that's what it actually is in reality. Okay, most of the time it's going to imprison you. So after nearly 50 years of this, is the man-hater movement ready to stand down as a fake Luciferian created anti-life movement? And as I say, Gloria Steinem, a happily married heterosexual woman, co-opted, worked with the CIA and other nefarious dark agencies to create this 50 years ago or so. When you see it as it is, truly a straitjacket for those, feminists who, those who believe in it, You see, the spirit is ready to catch it. The spirit is ready to protect all beings at all times. Even when they want to attack you for speaking out about what you're not allowed to talk about. Okay, do you understand that? We're always protected by the Almighty at all times. Okay? In this same college that promotes this way of thinking, we have the first African-American mayor of Santa Cruz, California. It was a UCSC professor, environmental studies professor. It decriminalized psilocybin in his first act in becoming the mayor. So I would say that, if you find someone to give you some, or if you have some shrooms or magic mushrooms, psilocybin can be a wonderful way to experience, looking at your brain patterns and where your fake ID is, where you're being retarded in your thinking. And I did need to check. Oh man, I can't even. Way too much beautiful sunlight for me to even see what it says. So yeah, I mean, every day I'm giving thanks. It's a huge gift to be here, and don't forget it. It's a magical, amazing power to be alive, to use these gadgets, and to be in the nature. This is my thing, okay? So yeah, shrooms can really help you to break the patterns if they're fake. Knowing that where your mind control is, a jack it for the mind. Don't hate homosexuals. Don't hate lesbians. Don't hate trans. Even don't hate any of them. Don't hate racists. Hate racism. Hate the mental straitjacket, mind control operations that create and profit off separation and victim consciousness, the anti-life vampiric bullies that created this. But don't even hold a grudge or bitterness toward them. Use that hatred to transcend it, to get it out of your mind. Don't hate anyone, really. Ultimately is the goal here, one of the goals here. Even with no fake ID, see how its inversion, this system of inversion is working on living your respectful dreams as a missionary of the true divine Christ light. You will, of course, be constantly attacked, first of all, by your ego and your narcissistic predator entities, then by others' attachments. Okay, the narcissistic personalities and others. What's missing in the movie The Secret? Okay, you have to let it go. Okay, you have to let go to receive the manifestation boomerang. Even without the living of your dream, you can make yourself miserable and dry if you remain fixed on that one idea. Like, I've done this myself. I have a lot of experience in this, and I still have to work on this. Your life can wither. Okay, this is when you must, take a break, meditate, breaking out of a rut. Do nothing for hours. When you can and need to, travel to another town, state, region, or country. Because if we don't do this, we can become a picture or a caricature of our ID. Yeah, it's a little bit intense for me. That the eyeball's refracting, but yeah, you can change your mind. The whole point of this video